For most of his teenage years, one of my sons has made a style choice that's not certainly my taste. He consistently wears a pair of shoes that are matching in every way except for the color. One red and one blue. And as you can guess, there's a second pair just like them. It's just his thing, I guess. Ann and I have always tried to look past our kids' various stylistic choices, concluding that they're not hills to die on. In fact, I think it's important to encourage a child's individuality. The vital point is not so much what the shoes might look like, but where they take them, if you know what I mean. I remember hearing leadership expert and pastor John Maxwell quote Thomas Jefferson regarding leading others. He said, "In matters of principle, stand like a rock. In matters of taste, swim with the current." What about how God deals with us, his kids? We come in all shapes and sizes, colors and styles. I know he certainly values our individuality because that's how he created us. And according to the Bible, it's clear that he cares a lot more about what happens on the inside than what goes on the outside. In some of our church settings today, there's a topic that often comes up that unfortunately tends to create a generational divide. You may have guessed it already, styles of music and worship. In fact, here's a recent prayer request we received. A man named George said, "Pray for my church. The music is too loud and I don't like it at all." But on the other end of the spectrum, Jeanette wrote to us, "I want to shout in the middle of the worship service. I feel like I could get up and dance, but I would probably be escorted out." It's the classic tension. Sometimes it's between styles of music, and other times it's about the level of emotional expressiveness in worship. I appreciate the various denominational traditions, and I believe God can be sincerely worshiped in each one. Because again, he's not concerned so much about our outward expression as he is your inward connection. Jesus himself taught us the bottom line of what's really important. Here it is. He said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind." For every person, there may be a different level of what this all-consuming love expression looks like. For King David, it was much more expressive. He celebrated the return of the Ark of the Covenant with exuberant dancing, shouting, and noisy instruments. Other instances show Bible characters falling on their faces, raising their hands, as well as being silent in God's presence. Wherever you are on the spectrum of worship style is not the important thing, because we know that God looks at our hearts. As far as the generational divide goes, we need to learn to appreciate our differences and not be too quick to judge based on styles of music. I remember when I interviewed the amazing hymn historian Robert Morgan, who wrote about the stories behind some of our favorite hymns. He was also with us last month on 100 Huntley Street. He made a point that has stuck with me ever since. He said that unless each new generation is writing their own fresh songs of worship to God, our faith is not being passed on. So it's a good thing when we see young people walking in a passionate path toward God, even if we're not crazy about the shoes they may be wearing. Let's thank God that they're sincerely seeking him. I think that's something to not just tolerate, but celebrate. Let's stay in touch.
Now there are even more ways to join the 100 Huntley Street online community. We'd love to hear from you, so stay in touch with us.